Hey guys, this is just a video to update you on my life and kind of my health situation and just to sit down talk with your boy Eric. So, for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure plenty of you do know, I have autoimmune encephalitis, which is a fucking terrible disease. It presents itself very differently in different people, and and shit. There's one right there. So there's cognitive issues I have among many other symptoms. I forget what I'm saying. I already forgot what I fucking was just talking about. I have autoimmune encephalitis where the immune system attacks the brain, causing inflammation and damage, and some of that's irreversible, which is unfortunate. I'm not in remission by any means, but I am better than I was. So, I was terrible, dude. I had, I was in psychosis. I felt like I had dementia. That was about 2 years ago. Then I was put on rituximab, which is an immunosuppressant, and it suppresses B cells, but it also has downstream effects on T cells. And I felt a little better on that, a little bit improved on that, and then I crashed really hard. And then the second infusion, it was like sailing, and it didn't feel like it had any improvement at all. So after some testing, my doctor kind of established that my autoimmune encephalitis was T cell mediated. So a lot of times autoimmune encephalitis is B cell mediated, and what that means is that it's mediated through auto antibodies. So B cells produce auto antibodies against receptors on the brain, which causes damage and inflammation, whereas T cells organically attack brain tissue without the secondary aspect of auto antibodies. So my autoimmune encephalitis is T cell mediated, which is, I don't know what the stats are on that, but it's got to be quite rare in comparison to B cell mediated autoimmune encephalitis. So rituximab didn't really work. But I'm on Cellcept now, which is an oral medication. I've been on it for like 4 months now, and at the 3 month mark, my agitation like completely disappeared. And the agitation was fucking terrible, dude. It made me want to fucking die. I didn't know how long I could hold up with it. It was so fucking bad. If you look, like, I have a mood app or whatever to keep track of like how I'm doing, and it was just awful for months. I was holding on by the skin of my teeth and holding on by my fingernails, and it was fucking terrible, dude. And 2 years ago, I was in psychosis. I felt like I had dementia. So I have PTSD from that, to be honest. And, I was talking to my therapist about that last appointment, and I was like, sometimes I forget I have PTSD. I wake up from my sleep, which is often quite terrible, and I'll wake up multiple times an hour, but I'll wake up from my sleep and I'll feel like I'm immediately in a panic mode, like I'm reaching, like somebody from, a non-veteran reaching for their gun or something. I'm immediately in panic just by the reality of my situation and what things look like, and it feels like I'm tripping on acid and all that shit. And it's also like a conglomerate of all the suffering and trauma I've been through. It's been fucking insane, dude. It's been otherworldly and painful beyond measure. And it's brought me to my knees in tears on many occasions. So it's not a fucking disease to put lightly. I'm not going to put it lightly. But I'm on Cellcept. I don't know if I already said this. An oral medications. It inhibits the proliferation of B cells and T cells. And since my doctor has kind of determined that my condition is T cell mediated, it's helped bring down the agitation almost to zero. So thank God for that. I do have a lot of other symptoms. I'm not going to go into those right now. But I also have gotten IVIG approved after like 3 appeals. And IVIG is just like a donor pool of antibodies. So it's an infusion, so they do it through your vasculature. And most of the time they do IVIG for people who have B cell mediated autoimmune encephalitis because it can neutralize auto antibodies that are attacking the brain. Although there is some research that indicates that it can have direct effect on T cell activation. So I'll have to talk to my doctor about that. The literature kind of shows that it can have effect on T cell activation, although it is more well known for its effect on B cells and autoantibodies attacking the brain. So that's where I'm at with my autoimmune encephalitis. I'm kind of in a good spot right now where I feel like I'm stable, relatively stable. My days are kind of all over the place, but I have an appointment at the 29th of April 2024 where I hope to get my cell set dose adjusted up, and I'll be on IVIG, and I'll be able to ask some questions and things like that. There's this drug Cytoxin that I've just always wanted, and like if I ever was put on Cytoxin at the beginning of this, then I would have been spared a fuck ton of suffering. So Cytoxin is like a nuke immunosuppressant. It's a chemotherapy drug, has risks of bladder cancer, cystitis. That's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure it's very immunosuppressive, but if I'm on IVIG, I'm immune protected because it's a pool of antibodies. So that wouldn't be a problem. But doctors are very scared of that, and I had a detailed conversation with my doctor about Cytoxin, and fuck, I almost got Cytoxin, but I kind of blew it because I had a conversation over the phone with my doctor, and I wanted to demonstrate that I understood the risks. So he was like, he didn't know if he wanted to give it to me or not. And, he was like, do you like accept the risks? And I wanted to show that like I understood the risks. So I was like, well, what are the cancer risks? So I can understand those, and then I can agree to the risks. And that threw him off track. And then he eventually said no. And so that's unfortunate because I feel like that medication would be very beneficial, and I already know the risks and things like that. It's like the medical system's kind of fucked because you should be able to, as a patient, like sign a fucking waiver and just agree that you understand the risks and take part in your own health. And I feel like I'd have a better chance of recovery on that medication. But I'm not going to bitch too much because I've had symptom relief, and symptom relief makes me able to last longer, and improve cognition and things like that. Speaking of cognition, I'm on antipsychotic. I'm not psychotic anymore. I haven't been psychotic for 2 years. Excuse me. But it was like my last resort for the agitation. It didn't really help that much, but I didn't have anything else to fucking use for the agitation. So I used this antipsychotic, and it helped like a little bit. I've come up and down on the antipsychotic so many times I can't even fucking count. It's after this appointment, I'll be coming down. I already came down a notch on it. I'll be coming down another notch, and then I'll have two more cuts to go after that. And every cut is just fucking hell for a month. So starting on May 1st, the entire month of May is going to suck balls. But the thing about this antipsychotic I'm on, which is Zyprexa or olanzapine is the generic name, is that it literally decreases your IQ and can shrink cortical gray matter. So I don't really feel like being on it. It makes you stupid, slow, zitty, fat. It's got a bunch of side effects. My therapist is like, don't rush off of it because we want you to stay calm and be in a healing place. I'm like, fuck that. Like, I want off of this thing so fucking bad. I hate it. Shitty ass drug that should only be used in emergencies if you're in a psychiatric emergency, because it really works. Like, I've had times where I've had sub features of my psychosis. So that would look like, for example, what I call the spooks, where it feels like somebody's hunting me down, or everything looks creepy to me. People look scary. The hallway looks elongated and spooky and shit like that. Everything just feels spooky. So I call it the spooks. And that happened after one day of I tried weightlifting, and that happened. So I put too much stress on my nervous system, and I got the spooks. So I took some more of this olanzapine, and I felt way better. It just felt like, I felt like so much relief. I wasn't going to have the spooks anymore. I felt like better, like good, But outside of that, outside of an actual like psychotic incident, it just makes you feel horribly depressed. Flattens your mood like crazy and just puts you to sleep. So I don't need it anymore. I've got these drugs that I'm on, these immunosuppressants, for at least a year, and I'm not going to be on this fucking antipsychotic for another year. So I'm cutting down on that. So that I don't know if I already said this, but it literally decreases your IQ and shrinks cortical gray matter. So I don't want to be on this drug any longer. I'm fucking done with it. On top of that, I'm on 5 milligrams of Clopin, which is a lot. That's a lot of Clopin. A lot of people are on like 0.5 to 1 milligram of Clopin for general anxiety disorder. Max dose, generally speaking, for general anxiety disorder is 4 milligrams. I'm on 5. I'm a special case, but that's going to really suck to come off of. But to be honest, I've been through so much shit that would blow your fucking mind that I think I can probably handle a benzo withdrawal. Now, when I get down to the lower doses, you can have your doctor send in a prescription for very like microdosing clonazepam to a compounding pharmacy where they can do it in a solution, so you can do it in a dropper, because the lower down you get on the dosage, the harder it is, the more painful the withdrawal symptoms are. So sometimes you have to kind of microdose as you get lower and lower. You know, it's been a really fucking rough ride. I've always said for quite a while now, I've said like I'll be better by 30. And, you know, I talked to my therapist, and he's always like, if you guys knew you'd be better, like the uncertainty part is the worst bit. If you guys knew you'd be better by October of next year, then you guys could just suffer through it. You guys, I'm saying you guys because my twin brother has it too. You guys could just suffer through it, and it wouldn't be a problem because you'd be done where the finish line is at. And so I was kind of thinking about that, and I was like, well, this better by 30 thing kind of gives me a gauge of when I'll be better, right? So I really think within the next 2 years I'll be better. So I can at least count on that, just emotionally and psychologically and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been really hard. I will no longer be able to use anabolics to an excessive degree, like an abusive degree. I won't be doing any more steroid cycles or SARM cycles or anything like that. I have been monitoring Reddit and helping people out on Reddit for years now. So I've collected quite a bit of experience with talking to people in DMs and on Reddit about their protocols, adjusting the protocols, giving them advice, seeing what the outcome is, things like that. That I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable to the point where I could probably start doing consultations. But I don't want to be too eager on that. And I try to be kind of modest about it because I don't want to, I've been given information for free for years. I'm kind of on the fence about that, to be honest. But I don't have any revenue stream at the moment, so it's a bit tempting. I'll put it that way. It's a bit tempting. But right now I'm on 77 milligrams per week of Pfizer Depo testosterone. I'm injecting every other day. Like I said, I won't be able to do, just because I can't put my brain in jeopardy anymore. I just can't. And it's extremely sensitive, and it's probably going to be sensitive for a long time. I probably won't be able to drink alcohol. I probably won't be able to handle too much caffeine. I probably won't be able to, I definitely won't be able to weightlift to the degree that I was. I'm a fat fuck right now, and I was once, super muscular guy, 225 pounds, pretty lean. And so I'm glad I at least did SARM cycles and my only one steroid cycle before I got sick, because I have no knowledge about those things now. The problem is I don't have knowledge about other anabolics too much, like Primo, Masteron, D-Ball, Winstrol, and all those other anabolic steroids. I haven't tried those, so I can't speak on that. But as far as TRT goes, yeah, I know quite a bit about testosterone replacement therapy and how to get people out of pickle situations where their TRT clinic put them on a cookie cutter protocol and they need help out and shit like that. Yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. Hopefully soon. I'm predicting within like 3 months I'll be able to start putting out more content. You know, I look at the first video that I ever made and I look at the last video I made and I was like, holy shit, what a difference. Like that first video I made, it was like high quality and I was going to do it in a sequence so that I could help people in the testosterone replacement therapy. And then it just became a random shit show of like I'm making music videos and then I'm using a shitty 720p webcam to make, you know, TRT videos while I'm on benzos because it's the only time I felt good enough to make a video and shit like that. So I'm predicting here in 3 months, I'm going to be able to put regular output of videos. And I'm looking forward to doing that because I like doing it. It's fun for me. I learn things while I do it, and it's like a very small source of income for me. I make probably 50 to 80 cents per video I put out. Another reason why I'm interested in doing the consults because I've helped people out for free for years. I've given thousands of bits of advice. So. And I've seen what the outcomes are of that. So I've got a pretty good collection of anecdotal data to help people out. That's my life right now. I'm currently in my parents' house. I really hope to, you know, I'm in Idaho. I really hope to move back to the town I was in, where I was living in Boise. I miss it. You know, I miss weightlifting. I miss riding my bike, but you know, quote by Mike Tyson, you know, do what you hate, but do it like you love it. And a lot of times people say that, or he says that in reference to like, you know, going to the gym, you know, which I loved anyway. It's not like it was hard for me, but it says do what you hate, do it like you love it. And so I'm trying to. You know, I hate this. You know, I hate this experience of autoimmune encephalitis. I hate that I can't work out. That was my passion. I love doing that. Everything physical, bike riding, rock climbing, all that shit. I loved it. And now I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. So I'm trying to take this attitude that like, I'm going to get better. I'm going to do this like I love it. You know, I'm going to take it on like a challenge, you know, and I've always tried to do that. Where I try not to bitch too much, you know. It's okay to let it out. It's okay to cry. It's okay to just be like, I don't want to take it. Like I told my therapist, I'm like, I don't want to take another step, man. Like I'm so tired. I don't want to take another step. But then you regroup and you rise to the challenge and you just keep on plugging away. You keep on moving on. And that applies to all avenues of life, I think, you know. Yeah. All right. That's enough blabbing, I think. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your comments and like interacting with you guys on Reddit. I learn things when I talk to you guys on Reddit. Even when I'm helping people, I learn things. You know, I'm like, oh, I made, you know, maybe I made a little bit of a mistake on a judgment call there, and so I'll learn from that, and I can be a better service to other people. So I'm always learning. I'm always trying to learn and help people out. Okay, that's it. That's my life. That's what's going on. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Probably after this next appointment, I'll give another update, and then hopefully just start putting out more content related to testosterone replacement, steroids. I don't know where this channel's going. It's been all over the place, so I, you know, kind of fuck it. Like I'll do whatever I want to do, you know, and just see what happens with it. I know one person said in an old video that, you know, he's like, I think this channel's going to blow up. And I'm like, not anymore. I don't think it's going to blow up anymore because it's so unstructured. Yeah. I need to learn to stop saying, but it takes me a brief moment to kind of collect my thoughts. I kind of went the whole video without shit falling out the back of my head, though, which is unusual. Okay. That's it. Love you guys. Appreciate you. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.